Welcome back. Let us apply what we've just learned. Tshidi wanted to buy 2 kilograms of drumsticks. The drumsticks are sold at 5 kilogram packs, 469.99 per pack. Determine the cost for 2 kilograms of drumsticks. So for us to determine the cost, therefore, implication is that we need to calculate the cost per kilogram. So we can as well calculate the cost rate. Even if it's not the cost, we can start with the cost rate first. So to calculate the cost rate, we will say 169.99 divided by 5 kilograms. So when we divide this, let us press our calculator together. 169.99 divided by 5. We get 33.998 rand per kilograms. So now this is the cost for 1 kilogram. So if we need the cost for 2 kilograms, we will multiply this cost rate by 2. Therefore, we have 2 multiplied by 33.998 per kilogram. So when we multiply, we will have 33.998 multiplied by 2. Therefore, the answer, remember the unit here, it's kilograms, so that kilogram can divide with kilograms. The answer we are having is 67.996 rand, and according to South African currency, we need to round off to 2 decimal places. And I said, once you have 2 values after a comma being 99, remember, it will adjust this value upward. Then our answer is going to be 68 rand. So that is the cost for 2 kgs. So now let us move to the next question. Kgosi's statement for the month of June is showing the water bill of 650 rand. Calculate his consumption rate for the month if 45 kiloliters was used. So now we will take the cost, which is 650 rand, and then we divide this by 45 kiloliters. Remember, when we calculate the consumption rates, or any rate, is the cost divided by the value which is given. Okay, so it's 615. We divide this by 45. Then the answer that we get is going to be 14.44. Actually, it is 44 recurring. So it doesn't matter how many fours you are writing, but the consumption rate will then be 14 rand 44 per kiloliters. So that is the consumption rate for 45 kiloliters, which has been charged at 650 rand. Let us move to the next one. Rato has traveled 50,000 meters. At a speed, okay, we are having the distance. Let us analyze. As I said, the distance is 50,000 meters. The speed is 100 kilometers per hour. How long did she travel? Now, when the question is how long, it's asking you about the time. So now we need to calculate time. For us to calculate time, take note that this one, the speed is in kilometers per hour, the distance is in meters. So to convert meters to kilometers, we divide the 50,000. Can we divide it together? We divide it by 1,000. Let us press our calculator together. 50,000 divided by 1,000. We get 50. So this is 50 kilometers. Then we can calculate the time. The time that we are calculating is then we take the distance, because the formula is distance divided by the speed. 50 kilometers divide by 100 kilometers per hour. So let us divide together. 50 divide by 100, then it's 0.5 hours. That is your time. Take note that kilometer will divide with kilometer, and then the time that we are having is then 0.5 hours. Let's continue with the next question. Bongani has filled his car with 1,530. The cost of petrol is 25 rand 10 cents per liter. This is the cost rate, and this is the cost. So now, how many liters were poured into the car's petrol tank? So now, to calculate how many liters were poured, we take the cost 1,530. We divide this by the cost rate, which is 25 rand 10 cents per liter. I want you to write per liter because when you calculate and get the answer, you should know why is the answer in liters. So now let us press the calculator together. 1,530 divide by 25 rand 10 cents. So what we get there is 60,956, and then this is the liters. But the question is how many liters? So this is just the liters that were poured. We don't have to round up or round down in this case because these are the actual liters which were poured using this amount. So now the rent will cancel with the rent. So now I hope we've done enough in terms of the application of the rates. So make sure that you practice what you have learned. I want us to just recap on what we did quickly. We worked on cost rates. Remember, the cost rates will refer to the example like calculating how much will you pay for a brick of cheese if it's written 79 rand 99 per kilo. You know that that price is for 1 kilo. If it's 5 kilos, you should know how much will it be. Consumption rates now, and then the consumption rates, it's about how much will be paid for traveling using a specific petrol. And then the distance and time rate will then refer to the speed. And then finally, the complex rates will now be the one for the consumption rates. And then finally, the new words that you learned are the rates. We've learned the cost rates. We have learned the consumption rates. We have learned the constant rates, and we have learned the average rates. And we've used all these terminologies, and I hope now that you are familiar with these terminologies, you know when to use these terminologies appropriately in real life as well. So the unit rate was also used. Let us look at the common errors. The common errors, number one, is that you fail to analyze the context. Always make sure that you analyze. Number two, you are writing the incorrect units. So make sure that as you calculate, you write all the units because that is very important. Using the distance and time which are not converted. Remember that time should be in hours and distance in kilometers if your answer has to be given in kilometers per hour. And the early rounding as well, it's a challenge. Make sure that you round correctly. Okay, now here's a challenge question. Thandi must buy paint to renovate her room. The paint is sold at 899 rand for 20 liters and 1,199 for 25 liters. She was advised to buy a 20-liter paint. How much will she pay for 3 layers of paint if 1 layer requires 28 liters? I hope you will take this challenge. You will look at the notes of what you've done, and you will work it out and be proud of yourself. Please remember to invite others to our lessons. I hope this will benefit every grade 10 learner in our country. Have a great day.